Nationalism is a religion. It has special days like a religion. It has prayer like a religion. Like a religion, it has gods and idols. It's based on mythologies like a religion. Like a religion, it curses those who are not part of it. And again, like a religion, its extremisms causes great harm to the geography in which it exists and the lands to which it belongs. Because nationalism, just like a religion, darkens the eyes, it turns into a tool of oppression against other people. No innate characteristic can exalt a person, neither nationalism nor religion. Today, I will tell you how nationalism was born and how its purpose was to serve the ruling classes during its establishment. Behind all nationalism in the world are states, and the state is the device of a handful of corporate people. Just like religion, it unites the masses and gives the illusion that they are one and unique. In Spanish America, Criollo, pronunciation Criollo, is a term used to describe people of entire Hispanic descent, originally born in the prefectures. In different Latin American countries, the word has taken on different meanings, mostly referring to the native-born majority. Historically, especially in Spanish America, they have been misrepresented as a social class in the hierarchy of the overseas colonies established by Spain in the 16th century. They were native-born people, almost always of Spanish origin, but sometimes of other European ethnicities. The Criollo class is the class that nationalized Latin America. Until the 18th century, the people who had lived under the rule of the colonies for nearly 200 years were nationalized by the propaganda of this class. The Criollo class no longer wanted to pay taxes to Spain and other states. They were the children of the first colonizers, and the taxes on the colonies they owned increased. The wealth of Latin America flowed into mainland Europe for years, just like North America, where the United States of America was founded. Their identity was strengthened by the Bourbon reforms of 1700, the growth of the political and economic power of the local Criollos in the individual colonies, combined with their global geographical distribution, led each to develop national identities. Newspapers supported this development. There is a relationship between nationalism and newspapers. The written language unified geographical differences in the same vocabulary. During the Spanish-American Wars of Independence, Criollos such as Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla, Simón Bolívar, and José de San Martín became the main supporters of independence from Spanish rule in their countries. The Argentine Juan Manuel de Rosas is an example of Criollo of entirely Spanish descent. Records show that the Criollo class paid huge taxes to mainland Europe before the myths of nationalism developed. The ruling class of Latin America and the children of the first colonizers now wanted to exploit the people on their own and not pay taxes. The next developments are processes in the early history of the United States. Europeans started arriving in Latin America during the Spanish conquest. During the colonial period, most European immigrants were Spanish. In the 19th and 20th centuries, millions of Europeans and populations of European descent from North and South America migrated to the region. According to church and civil registers in Acatzingo in 1792-73, married Spanish women during the colonial period. Early nationalist myths about Criollos class prevents narratives that they were 100% Spanish. However, there are some among them who were born through rape or mistress relationships with indigenous people. However, Spaniards were often the most populous ethnic group in Latin America's colonial cities. The vast majority of indigenous people were servants or enslaved people. Large populations were exterminated in massive massacres. Latin American nationalism is linked to the fact that the Criollos, the class that exploited the indigenous population, continued this exploitation by not paying taxes to Europe. Because nationalism, like religion, closes exploitative relations and keeps everyone united. However, the primary beneficiaries of this unity are those who possess wealth. It's about money, dick! Over time, the Criollos class dissolved the indigenous culture into their nationalism and became wholly separated from the former colonizers in Europe. Such cultural distinctions are essential in defining the nation-state boundaries you will exploit. It allows you to differentiate yourself from another group and to be imbued with various myths and ideals. In this sense, the Criollos class was wholly separated from the Iberian Peninsula. Until 1760, the Spanish colonies were governed under laws designed by the Spanish Habsburgs, who granted the American provinces wide autonomy. This changed with the Bourbon reforms of the 18th century under Charles III. Spain needed the colonies to maintain the Spanish Empire. The French and American revolutions led to the revolt of the Criollo class against their colonizers in Europe. The former Spanish Empire in Latin America was thus divided into a series of independent republics, which are the ancestors of the states we know today. As we can see, states are not the creation of people, but of a group of ruling classes like Criollo that impose their propaganda on the people through various apparatuses. The Criollos class founded the Latin American states and imposed nationalism on the masses like a new religion. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.